Today we will discuss coset decomposition. Let G be a group and H be a subset of G. So first of all, we will introduce some notations. For any element A belonging to G, the set AH such that H belong to H is denoted by AH. Similarly, HA is equal to HA where H belongs to H, and AH inverse equal to AHA inverse such that H belongs to H. So these were some notations. If H is a subgroup of G, then the set AH is called the left coset of H in G containing A, whereas HA is called right coset of H in G containing A. Here AH is equal to AH such that H belongs to H, and HA is equal to HA such that H belongs to H. In this case, the element A is called the coset representative of AH or AH. We use two lines around AH to denote the number of elements in the set AH, and similarly for the set HA. We consider an example of a symmetric group and the set H equal to 1, 1 upon 3, and we will find the left coset of H in G. For the first left coset, 1 into H, we have H, because 1 is the identity permutation, and 1 2 into H is 1 2 into 1 into 1 2 into 1 3. So applying the given composition, we get 1 2 1 1 3 2. 1 3 into H is 1 3 into 1 into 1 3 into 1 3. So applying these given composition, we get the resulting set is H, which is 1 and 1 3. 2 3 into H is 2 3 into 1 into 2 3 into 1 3, which comes out to be 2 3 into 1 2 3. So one more example. If we take H equal to 0 3 6 in Z9 equal to 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 under the operation of addition, in the case that the group operation is addition, we use the notation A plus H instead of AH. Then the coset of H in Z9 are 0 plus H. 0 plus H means 0, 3 and 6. This is also equal to 3 plus H and 6 plus H. 1 plus H is equal to 1 plus 0, 1 plus 3, 1 plus 6. This is 1, 4, 7. And this is also equal to 4 plus H and 7 plus H. Similarly, 2 plus H is equal to 2 plus 0, 2 plus 3 and 2 plus 6, which is 2, 5, 8, and this is equal to 5 plus H and 8 plus H. So we observe some things. First, the cosets are usually not subgroups. Secondly, AH may be the same as BH even though A is not the same as B. Third, since in the first example 1 2 H is equal to 1 2 1 3 2, where H12 is equal to 1 2 1 2 3, therefore AH need not be same as HA. Here in 1 2 H is 1 2 1 3 2. These examples and observation raise many questions. When does AH is equal to BH? Do AH and BH have any element in common? When does AH equal to HA? Which cosets are subgroup? Why cosets are important? So in the next lemma, we answer these questions. And we call this properties of cosets. Let H be a subgroup of G and let A and B belong to G. Then number 1, A belongs to AH. Number 2, AH is equal to H if and only if A belongs to H. AH is equal to BH if and only if A belongs to H. Number 4, AH is equal to BH or AH intersection BH is equal to phi. Means intersection is empty set. Means given sets are disjoint. AH is equal to BH if and only if AB inverse belongs to H. And number of elements in AH is equal to number of elements in BH. AH is equal to HA if and only if H is equal to AH A inverse. AH is a subgroup of G if and only if A belongs to H. So, in the following, we will prove all these properties one by one. So, first property is A belongs to AH. So, we know that A is equal to A into E because E is the identity element. So, A is equal to AE, therefore it belongs to AH. Now the second property is AH is equal to H if and only if A belongs to H. We will first prove that AH equal to H if A belongs to H. Then we will prove its converse part, that if A belongs to H, then AH is equal to H. So now the proof is, let AH equal to H. Because A is equal to AE belongs to AH, therefore AH is equal to H. Because we have assumed AH equal to H. Converse, we assume that A belongs to H and show that AH is a subset of H and H is a subset of AH. Because if AH is a subset of H and H is a subset of AH, then H will be equal to AH. The first inclusion is directly satisfied by the closure of H. Means AH is always contained in H. Now we will show that H is a subset of AH. For this, let H belongs to H. Since A belongs to H and H belongs to H, we know that A inverse belongs to H. And this implies H is equal to EH. E is the identity element and E is equal to A inverse into H, and by associativity we may write it as A into A inverse H, and this belongs to AH because A is the element of G given group and A inverse is the element of H. Therefore, A into A inverse H belongs to AH. Now the third property is AH is equal to BH if and only if A belongs to BH. In this also, first we will show that AH is equal to BH if A belongs to BH. Then we will show that if A belongs to BH, then AH is equal to BH. So the third property, if AH equal to BH, then A is equal to AE belongs to AH, and we have assumed it to be equal to BH. So this is the first part. Now for the converse, let A belongs to BH. Then we can write it as A equal to BH, where H is the element of H. Therefore, AH is equal to, because A is equal to BH, so AH is equal to BH into H. By associativity, because H is a subgroup of G, B into HH, and HS is equal to H, therefore this is equal to BH. So this is the second property. Now third is, we have proved third. Now the fourth is either AH is equal to BH or AH intersection BH is equal to empty set. So for the property, fourth property follows directly from the third property, because if there is an element C belonging to AH intersection BH, so CH is equal to AH and CH is equal to BH. Now the fifth property is AH is equal to BH if and only if AB inverse belongs to H. So for the fifth property, observe that AH equal to BH if and only if H equal to A inverse BH, and the result follow from the property 2. Next property is number of elements in AH is equal to number of elements in BH. To prove this, it is sufficient to define a one-to-one mapping from AH to BH. Obviously, the correspondence AH to BH maps AH onto BH, that it is 1 to 1, follows directly from the cancellation property, and the result is proved. Now, seventh property is AH is equal to HA if and only if H is equal to A inverse. Note that AH equal to HA if and only if AH into A inverse is equal to HA into A inverse. We have multiplied both sides by A inverse. Because H is a subgroup of G, therefore associativity holds in it. Therefore H into A inverse. And A inverse is the identity element. Therefore H into A is H. Therefore we have proved AH equal to HA if and only if AH A inverse equal to H. Now the last property is AH is a subgroup of G if and only if A belongs to H. If AH is a subgroup, then it contains the identity element. Therefore AH intersection EH is not equal to phi. By property 4 we have AH equal to EH is equal to H. And by property 2 we have A belonging to H. So converse, if A belongs to H, then again by property 2 AH is equal to H. So we have proved all the properties of a group. Now we will explain these properties. What is the meaning of these properties? So first of all, the first property is A belonging to H. A belonging to H means left coset of H containing A does contain A. If AH is a left coset of H, then it also contains the element A. Second property says that H absorbs an element if and only if element belongs to H. It is written AH equal to H if and only if A belongs to H. It means H absorbs an element if and only if the element belongs to H. Now third property says AH equal to BH if and only if A belongs to BH. It shows that left coset of H is uniquely determined by any one of its element. In particular, any element of a left coset can be used to represent the coset. Now, next property is AH equal to BH or AH intersection BH equal to phi. This property says, and this is very important, that two left cosets of H are either identical or disjoint. Now fifth property is AH equal to BH if and only if AB inverse belongs to H. It shows that how we transfer a question about equality of left cosets of H to a question about H itself and vice versa. Next is seventh property, number of elements in AH is equal to number of element in BH. It is analogous to the property 5 in that it shows that, sixth property says that all the left cosets of H have the same size. Means number of elements in AH is equal to number of elements in BH. It means all the left cosets of H have the same size. Now the seventh property is AH equal to HA if and only if H equal to AH inverse, AH A inverse. So seventh property is analogous to fifth property in that it shows that how a question about the equality of left coset and right coset of H containing A is equivalent to a question about the equality of two subgroups of G. Now the last property is AH is a subgroup of G if and only if A belongs to H. It means that H itself is the only cosets of H that is a subgroup of G. Note that properties first, which means A belongs to H. Fourth, AH equal to two left cosets are either identical or disjoint. And sixth property, number of elements is in both in any left cosets are same. Guarantee that left coset of a group H of G partition G into blocks of equal size. Indeed, we may view the coset of H as a partitioning of G into equivalence classes under the equivalence relation defined by AB of AH equal to defined by AB if AH equal to BH. So these are the explanation of all the properties which we have proved. Now this is one more example to find the coset of H equal to 115 in G equal to 32, which is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, 25, 27 and 29. U32 is the group of integers relatively prime and less than 32 under multiplication. We begin with the set H equal to 115. We can find second coset by choosing any element not in H, say 3 as a coset representative, and this gives the coset 3H, and which is equal to 3 into 13. We find our next coset by choosing a representative not already appearing in the two previously chosen cosets, say 5. This gives us a coset 5 into H, which is equal to 5 into 5 and 11. We continue to form cosets by picking elements from U32 that have not appeared in the previous cosets as a representative of the cosets until we have accounted for every element of U32. We then have the complete list of all distinct cosets of H. Now, the notion of coset was invented by Galois in 1830, although the term was coined by G. A. Miller in 1910. Thank you.